Hello guys, in this video we are going to talk about reported speech, but in this case about statements. Remember, the topic yesterday was reported speech request. When we refer to a request, it's because we need to do an action or that we are asked to do something specific. But then statements, it's only a message that you deliver, a piece of information that you transfer to someone else. For example, we have the direct statement. That's the direct statement, what I say directly to a person, and then what that person repeats to someone else. For example, imagine that today you didn't go to the class. So you are talking to Esperanza, and Esperanza tells you what happened to the teacher in the classroom today. The teacher said, I am not feeling well, guys. So when Esperanza repeats that information to you, this is the structure that she is going to use. You need to use say or tell. When you use say, you don't need to use the object pronoun, but then when you use tell or told in the past, you need the object pronoun me or him or her. Everything depends on the case. If the teacher Adorly said, I am not feeling well, Esperanza, when Esperanza transfers that information to another person, she will say, the teacher said she wasn't feeling well. You repeat the information. Remember yesterday we had three people. We have three people. Who are those three? Let's say that we have teacher Adorlis, the teacher, we have Esperanza, and then we have Marlene. Teacher Adorlis gave an information to Esperanza. It is direct because she is talking directly to Esperanza. Now, Esperanza repeats that information to Marlene. It is indirect because Adorlis is not talking to Marlene, but talking to Esperanza, and Esperanza is the one that is transferring that message to Marlene. I am not feeling well, said Adorlis. And then Esperanza repeated that to Marlene, and she said, Marlene, the teacher said that she wasn't feeling well. If you observe, the direct statement is in present. Present verb. When you give or when you transfer the information, if the original message was in present, you need to use the past. What is the past of the verb be? In this case, wasn't. Now, it's the same with the other topics. If you have the present, the simple present, then you need to use the past when you transfer the message. Here you have the verb have in present. What is the past? Had. I have house guests for the weekend, said Adorlis. Now, when Esperanza transfer that information, she's going to say, Marlene, the teacher had house guests for the weekend. If the original sentence is in present, you transfer the information to past. But what happens if the original sentence is in past? For example, here, I made a tennis date with Kim. If the original message is in past, you need to transfer the message in past perfect. Yes. What is the past perfect? The auxiliary had and the verb in past participle. If the original message is in past, you need to transfer the information in past perfect. What is the past perfect? the auxiliary had, and the past participle. Now, if the original sentence is in present perfect, check present perfect, the auxiliary have plus the verb in past participle, then if you want to transfer that information, you need to use the past perfect. I have planned an exciting trip. Then Esperanza would say, Marlene, the teacher had planned an exciting trip. You always pay attention to the original sentence. In this case, it is in present perfect, and when you transfer it in past. Now, this is about the time, present with the verb be, the simple past, the present perfect, but in this case we have modal verbs. The modal is can, will, and may, or auxiliary, for example, in the case of will. Now, when you have an original sentence with the modal can, the past for can is could. So if the original sentence says, we can't come tomorrow, then you are going to use they told me they couldn't, because the negative for could is couldn't. They couldn't come tomorrow. If it were positive, then you would say we can come tomorrow. They told me they could come tomorrow. That is if you have can. The past of can is could. Can, could. Now when it's will, we will be out of town. When you transfer the message, they would, or they said they would be out of time. For can, the past is could. And then for will, the past is would. Would. It's okay. Now when you have may, we may go out with friends. May is when something it's possible, like you have a possibility to do it. We may go out with friends. They might go out with friends. If the original sentence is with may, then when you transfer the information, you use might. So you only need to remember that you need to check the original sentence. If the original sentence is in present, you go to the past. And if the original sentence is in past, then you go to past participle, to past perfect. And then you have to always observe the first part, the original sentence, and then you decide the time that you have to change it to. For example, in this case, I already have plans for Saturday. In this case, you have to check if the original sentence is in past, present, future, modal verb. Observe it. What is happening here? I already have plans for Saturday. It is in present with the verb be. No. Simple present. In that case, you have the verb have in present. When you transfer the information, you only need to change the verb have to the past. And then you would say, she said she already had plans for Saturday, and finish.